And here's what readers are saying about The War on Sarah Morris by Kathleen Jones. The War on Sarah Morris, a fluid and carefully crafted coming-of-age novel, is brimming over with nail-biting tension. The author explores the meaning of loyalty, commitment, boundaries, betrayal, and love. Of course, there is a surprise twist in the tale, and I recommend that you read the story to find it. Gail from Goodreads. Ultimately, the novel's commentary on the overarching control the corporate world has on us and how it creates division and then feeds each side of the beast lingers well past the last page, as well as how that control infiltrates the mind of a worker, weakening it and their self-worth to the point of shattering. A discomfort is left behind after you finish the story, realizing the experience has been more akin to holding a mirror rather than a book, as we see more of ourselves in Sarah Morris than we want to admit. Jeffrey from Goodreads. The War on Sarah Morris by Kathleen Jones is a sharp, emotionally honest, and at times a darkly humorous exploration of workplace disillusionment and midlife resilience. A journey of self-discovery seen through the lens of a 49-year-old editor, Sarah Morris. The author paints a vivid portrait of professional stagnation and personal reinvention in an unforgiving job market. It's more than a workplace novel. It's a survival story wrapped in sharp humor and bitter truths. Anyone who is questioning their professional worth or struggling to reimagine life beyond the cubicle walls would appreciate reading this book. Angela from BookPub. I found this book interesting to read. The author did a great job of a true-to-life situation that many have felt by their employer. Sarah Morris has been working in her current position for a long time, but when the company downsized, she was pushed to the bottom of the company. Sarah is a character that took me on a roller coaster ride of emotions, from bullying to being overlooked. What happened to Sarah is something that unfortunately happens to many in our society. If you have never had this happen to you, this book is a great way to show you what to watch for. If this has happened to you before, this book will give you some hope that someone has taken notice and spoken out. I really enjoyed reading this book. I highly recommend this book. Bobby Joe from Amazon. Most of us can relate to her situation. Our work often is a mix of hedonistic pleasure and economic survival. When economic survival takes the fore, personal fulfillment often drops to the background. Even if we haven't experienced Sarah Morris's plight firsthand, we face it through our subconscious fears. This book offers a personal account that's heavily centered on one person, Sarah Morris. It does not focus much on wider economic scenarios. What is someone to do in a failing industry? Could Sarah have tapped into her core creativity sooner? I didn't find much self-critique in the protagonist until very late in the book. She attacked others as the root of her plight instead of looking at her wider options. Though I don't blame Sarah for her plight, I do recognize that economic survival in a weakening economy isn't always enjoyable, but food still has to go on the table. Because of the large amount of adversity that Sarah faces, workers like me can prepare themselves for such inevitable adversity. Sarah has just about every device thrown at her to hamper her personal fulfillment. Though still wounded by her experiences, in the end, she comes out triumphant against corporate forces bigger than herself. The impersonal forces of ageism and sexism also play significant roles in this story and can draw in readers facing similar bigotry. Sarah Morris's central humanity rises victorious in the end, but not until it's tested in its economic core. Scott from Amazon. And that's what readers are saying about The War on Sarah Morris by Kathleen Jones.